All right, we will call to order the September Type A EDC board meeting. We do have a quorum present. I assume we have no one signed up for the citizens forum. So we'll move to item C, regular agenda. Discuss, consider possible action on the June 10, 25 meeting minutes. Are there any questions? Do we have a motion?
Present a motion to accept the minutes as they are.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor? It is unanimous. Item number 2, discuss, consider possible action regarding support and funding assistance for improvement to the Joshua Animal Shelter.
You waiting on me? So as part of the budget preparations this year, the animal shelter identified some needs to do some repair work and pour some concrete outdoors to help facilitate basically cleaning. Right now, they're having to try and clean urine and feces from pea gravel, which is not at all ideal. So what we're trying to do in this year's budget, the city has allocated $20,000 for this work, but it's going to cost significantly more than that. So the Tommy of the Parks Department has put together, along working with Alice, put together a fundraiser. They're going to try and raise half of the money, and the city's going to match the other half. So they've started that process, and one of the areas that they are looking for assistance is they're approaching you guys along with TAP B to consider a one-time donation to assist in raising those funds. There's information that I'm going through now, trying to vet this and make sure that it is an allowable expense. According to the city attorney, it is. But if you look at just the EDC documents from where Type A and Type B were set up, it doesn't specifically call out animal shelter or specifically things like that. But there are other sections in the law under a separate code that allows for Type A and B to expend funds for publicly owned or city-owned infrastructure and facilities. So when I'm going back and forth with him, he's confident that it is allowed. I'm still going through the stuff just because I wanted, in my mind, and I want it clearly vetted that it is an allowable expense. But the park board took no action on it today. They're in a little different, I guess, financial situation. You guys are. They have more than $1 million in fund balance, but this year they are spending more revenue than they're bringing in to balance their budget, and so they're reluctant to take any other hits this early in the upcoming fiscal year. They also passed on a request from the YMCA for some additional funding. But so this was something that they wanted to bring to you guys. I was fine with bringing that. We're going to be in that building for several years to come, even though we've got the COG talking about the underpass again, and gotten quite a bit of support over the last month or so dealing with the Council of Governments and the transportation folks. And we're starting to see some movement. Are we ready to build a new animal shelter? No. I think that if this project is taken on, it certainly will be benefit to it. It'll make it much better, especially on the animals outside. It'll be a lot cleaner, a lot neater, a lot easier to maintain. And it won't be money lost because they'll have to pay fair market value for the shelter. So I don't see it as a waste of money. And again, I think we're still several years away from actually getting any concrete dates to move forward. So they put together this request. This will be paired with many others. We're just getting started. I think $2,600 is what you said so far that's been raised just from a few local stuff. I'm working on some stuff with staff now. There's some staff members that want to participate. So we're working on payroll deductions for that if they wanted to make like an annual contribution, so much a month or pay period, or a one-time deal. We can set it up either way. So this came to y'all for consideration. And so, you know, it is what it is. I will tell you that if approved, or if you decide you do want to do something, we'll make sure that it's fully vetted through the city attorney before it goes through before any money goes out. And we have some time. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to move that money around next week if you approve it. But they did want to reach out and ask. I was reading through a little bit of the stuff that Terry sent me today. I'm probably about 90% certain that it is an allowable expense. The question is if you guys have an interest in taking a look at that and taking that on. And I think the amount that, is that in here too?
Yes.
They were asking for $5,000. And it can be that, it can be less, it can be more, or it can be nothing. I mean, it's totally up to you guys if y'all want to participate in that.
I was on the board earlier and passed on it. So I don't want to necessarily color the discussion. I'll let other people ask.
Do you have any comments? Question?
Well, I have no questions. In fact, I'm ready to make a motion that we do give them the 5,000 if it proves to be a legal expenditure for everyone.
What type of improvements are we looking at?
Concrete.
But I mean, it's like, are we just doing pad,
They're gonna build, they're gonna take out all the gravel, they're gonna take down the pins, take down the roofing. They're gonna reuse a lot of it. Most of the expense is gonna be for concrete and drainage. They can tap into the sanitary sewer, all of it'll be washed down that's been okayed by Jason through the sewer people there they've talked to. They'll just put it in ground and flush it out.
ballpark and what we're looking at?
$40,000 is the total projected cost. They're trying to raise 45,000, or they're trying to raise 25,000. They wanted to put a little in there for kind of some contingency and overruns. Tommy's working very hard to get some of the work donated. He's working on getting the steel donated. It looks like McCoy's is going to help out there, and he's pounding the pavement, pushing. So he's
Nice little presentation for the council, kind of outlining
I-
what it was.
I like the idea, and I like that once more, I have nothing against it, and I would say not less than 5,000.
Yeah, not less.
Do you
Have a presentation downstairs.
do you have what?
Yeah, I was just curious what the scope was. That was,
Yeah, the majority of it's just concrete work. It's all outside.
okay.
And
The biggest issue is like when an animal is sick and they're out there, there's no way of cleaning all that up.
Yeah.
There's no way of sanitizing it, so it's really
I'm up there often, and I really have a heart for the shelter and what
Want a
I
job?
do. And I'm sorry,
You want a job?
no,
We're hiring volunteers, just so you know.
no, John will.
Even got a part-time spot open. We're losing one.
Blaine, do you have any questions or comments?
I'm up there enough, and when I go up.
Reason TAP B board turned it no action was the fact that our budget wasn't enough to where it could handle it.
That's fair. It's totally fair.
I agree with it. It needs to be done. And like Mike said, if and when TxDOT comes through there, they will pay us back for what we spent on it. And for sanitary reasons, it should be done.
I could say, Tommy and I both have been hitting companies. We're hitting people at the end of their budget year, which
Right.
makes it a little tough. But I've been working with Corey Dickerson to try to get a school program. I've worked with Ally Pat for the awards. So we got stuff going to try. It's just taking a little bit of time.
So my question is, and this again may be a Terry conversation, do we have the ability to advertise a matching program where we can maybe encourage other businesses to contribute and the board would match? And I don't want to say we would only match, but would that be something to help incentivize maybe getting other?
When I
Donations,
questioned him,
yeah.
I just asked for a one time.
Okay.
And he said yes.
Yeah, I think that,
I didn't ask about a matching.
I mean, I think that if you want to do something to encourage participate from the business community, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. I'm actually entertaining doing the same thing with staff, matching what the staff raise, what we raise by the staff, and then me matching that in a donation to them. We just haven't got, I had to get the question answered about payroll deduction, and I had to pick my moment to go in there and talk to them about that because they've just got the payroll stuff up and running. I didn't want to throw any wrenches at them. But Marcy was, yeah, I mean, I think that the software will do it, but
What does our director think of all this?
I love the idea. It's definitely needed. Tommy did come to me to maybe collaborate with American Steel after the concrete work is done to do a plaque for American Steel if they will donate an awning. So we will work with them once, we cover.
That's a good idea.
I will reach out to American Steel. Shouldn't be too much that they're material that they'll need to just do an awning to give this area shade for the animals.
and just to give you the insight, and part of the reason, like I say, type B, I don't think type B was so against the help. I think the timing was the issue of them. Their revenues, your revenues are above expenditures by almost $165,000. Theirs is not, but they've got some capital equipment that they're buying and some other things that they're doing. So they didn't want to take any more out of their fund balance at this particular time and opted to pass.
Along the lines of the plaque for American Steel helping with the awning, could we get more grant? Could it like let them have a big, side of the fence with their advertising?
No.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't
No.
really discussed any of, the size of the plaque or where it's
We can-
going, but that, that's something that we'll discuss once we get an okay from.
Too gaudy.
Well, and I think we need to be careful making those deals. We can't put everybody's name on the side of it. And the city does not have a naming policy, so
Oh, okay.
granting titles to places is not, and the council, we've talked about it several years, they just never wanted to do it.
Okay.
But we couldn't, I mean, putting a little plaque on there saying donated by, that's fine.
Right.
But I mean, as
Getting
far as
obnoxious with it.
selling advertisement, yeah, we couldn't do that.
Bring John's name and rights.
Do them all.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea was just to have something in the building stating,
Yeah.
it was donated by whoever the company that does end up doing the donating. But they've got issues like animals with parvo, stuff that stays in the ground that you can't get rid of for years and years. And with this, they'll be able to just wash it, sanitize it.
So let me ask you this, Nora. We seem to have a healthy budget right now. Is there and I know anything can change, but is there anything in the works that you think is going to come to us in the reasonably near future asking for additional help that would be, I know that in the scale of our budget, this is a smaller amount, but I just want to make sure that we're not going to be.
I mean, the short answer is no, there's nothing that comes to mind. The biggest thing that you've got, y'all are a few years down the road have got a balloon payment due on that property in Joshua Station. I think in 2027 or 8, somewhere around there. Or 28 or 29. I think it's still a few years off. And of course, we'll continue to actively work on that. But even, when you add this revenue over expenditures to, you're going to end up with $2.261 million in fund balance. And so financially, you're in good shape. Now, does that mean you should just go nuts? No, it doesn't. I mean, obviously,
I mean, you've got these soft-hearted animal lovers sitting up here.
I will say this, that my family already has a plaque on a kennel that we paid.
over there.
Yes,
We adopted the kennel.
we adopted a kennel. So yes, my heart is there.
Well, nobody, I think, wants to mistreat animals. I mean,
Right.
I mean,
Well, and think about the workers. We're asking
Absolutely.
them to deal with this sanitary
Well,
issue
you're right. And
over and over again.
and we have struggled. We have struggled for 2 years with being able to take care of what we need to take care of without increasing taxes. We have asked our staff to not take a pay raise. We have, but this is our money comes out of sales tax. Our funding is not increasing the property tax burden on people. And so it is something that is needed. And do I think that we're going to get all of the donations that we need otherwise? I don't. I mean, I was the first one to say, let's ask, but
You're the reason we started.
I know. And I'm glad to see that there was some.
And I think we're early on to this thing too. I mean, will they generate all 25,000? I don't know.
Realistically, when are they looking to get this work done? Because he has the funding.
I mean, obviously it can't start until at least October 1, but it won't anyway. So I'm thinking if we get
So
through.
can we table this until the October meeting and see where they're at? I mean, I think everybody is in agreement. We're okay with doing something, but let us make a decision. Let's see where we're at by that October meeting.
But I would also like to just say, like maybe let's reach out to some of the businesses that we've helped out in the last year or two. Maybe like Whataburger.
We've reached out to almost every business,
Stuff like that.
including like Panda, Taco Bell, all of them. We've ever reached out outside of Joshua. But like I said, it does take time for people to get checks. I've probably sent 100 emails. I can't get how many phone calls, and took off last Friday and ended up working on this, talking to Alley Cat half a day to get things going with the school. So we're just waiting on Corey for that.
But what's the total amount that okay, hold on.
Worth Steel was asking for money from us before. Did they ever get that? Okay, because they seemed to stop asking, right?
Well, they're still
working.
Okay.
The only benefit, and this is not a big deal, but you do have a budget amendment on here tonight. This could be included on that. Keep from having to do another one, but amending this budget is no big deal. So it's
In a pure, juggling money sense, money spent now on the property will end up getting us more money once TxDOT bulldozes it, because all the real estate market is doing is going up. So we'll actually be buying into the real estate market and just getting more money to doze it, is my guess.
Decide how much we're going to give. But if we agreed on a match, if we agreed tonight on a match, then you could advertise the match, and then next month we can see where we're at, and then we can decide this is how much we're going to give. Right?
you could, yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna put up like the maximum amount.
We would match up to
10,000?
50%.
Yeah, I mean, if we can,
Yeah, for the whole 25,000 or
right,
whatever.
I mean, and I'm not, and that's not saying that we're committing to that being our give, but if the community shows up and comes up with half of
They
it.
raised like 2,300, so it's still like another 22 and change that they need to raise.
It's 13,000.
Okay.
So I think right now.
Yeah.
That way you can honestly advertise that there is a match.
And that would, I think, make a big difference.
Right. And then next month, we will see where we are. And then we can decide, okay, what is there an amount that we're just going to give? How close are we? And then we can make a decision on that.
So the question is, does that include the 2,600 we've already gotten, or do we need to keep that separate? Just so I know on our books. We got the spreadsheet thing, we want to make sure we have it correct.
Match up to 50%.
And I think
What's
part
already
of,
raised?
Of future donations or
Of
what's already?
total,
of total,
Of total?
of total,
of total.
period in the story.
Yeah. Type A is willing to match up to 50% of the cost of this. Is that what we're saying?
So
Yeah.
What you saying?
12,500.
Are we in agreement?
Do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah. Because do I think that it's, I mean, but if it did happen, how freaking cool would that be? You know?
It would be a good deal. I'm agreeing with.
Because it would be shifting probably what's gonna end up being the city burden, and
It would lessen. the
we'll
burden off
remember,
the
so
city
we'll remember that in the future whenever,
We need something.
Whenever somebody comes in and wants money.
Yeah.
So right now you tabling it until you put it.
no, we need a motion to approve the match.
Make a motion to approve a match of up to 50% of the total proposed $45,000 budget.
Do I have a second?
You want to match the total or just the fundraising part?
The funder, I mean, up to that amount, whatever they.
50% of the total
whatever
The 25,000 or 50% of the 45,000?
We'll match donations.
Match donations,
So for the
Okay,
first,
so
up to
12,500 to be the total.
no, match donations up to 50% of the total proposed budget of 45,000. So up to 22,500.
Okay. 22,500, okay.
it's 50,000.
It was proposed at 40 and they added another 5 for incidentals.
Right.
The way I understood it.
I think it's right, $22,500
Unmatched.
I'll match.
Yes.
And then we're shelving until next month any donation that we give above that.
Straight donation.
I would also like to add to that we're not going to match our own donation. There we go.
Or the city's commission.
Correct.
Yeah.
But do we want to match the staff? The city,
Yes.
but the city staff, we will.
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
individual, if the individual staff members do, then yes, we will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion that the type A board will match any donations up to 22,500. And then we are tabling until next month if we will make any straight donation. I have a motion and I think I had a second.
I don't have a second.
I don't have a
I'll
second.
second it.
There we go. All those in favor? That is unanimous. All right. So the next month, just let us know, hopefully, where we're at. And maybe before the meeting, if you can just kind of give us
Some
a,
updates.
yeah, that would be great.
Weekly updates until then.
And if that's something you can put in the newsletter, and I mean, just billboard on it.
I love seeing the billboards weekly. The businesses featured. I love that. That's nice.
We got that lengthened a little bit because it wasn't up there as long.
Yeah.
So I did,
I had to speed read. Yeah.
or you had to sit there a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So now you receive one or two things of the city, so.
Yeah.
What was our agreement on that? That the city can use it until he actually has people that
No,
rent it?
no,
Oh.
so he's given us, we can have up to 4 items up there, but the more we have, the less time
Time.
they show up.
Oh, okay.
So we've shortened it to 1 or 2 things. And it's really simple.
Item number 3, discuss, consider possible action to cancel the current agreement with the Joshua Area Chamber of Commerce and direct staff regarding the exploration of a possible new chamber organization.
Okay.
This is what I called you about.
So as you guys know, the chamber for the majority of this year, or as long as I have been here, has been an inactive board and has not really provided meaningful support for our business community. The local businesses in my business spotlight have expressed various concerns. Their frustration, lack of support, lack of engagement, lack of resources from the Chamber of Commerce. And I did join the board. Stephen, the parks, is he parks manager? Parks guy, also joined with me. And we attempted to work with them to revitalize the chamber, give them kind of a facelift, suggested a name change to Joshua Chamber of Commerce, suggested a logo change, recommended updating their bylaws to align with how they're currently structured and how they're currently working. The chamber was very unreceptive and unwilling to any of the changes. So unfortunately, with that without the change, the chamber continues to lack visibility within our business community. And with that, we are asking for support to cancel their current agreement and allow staff to help start up a new chamber, a new working chamber, and hopefully within 3 to 6 months, turn it over to an active board.
And that budgeted amount was $18,000.
Correct.
That'll pay for some concrete.
Yeah. Did they ever show back up to the council with their
Nope.
budget? I knew that.
No, they haven't been back, but they've not made any requests either in their defense. They haven't asked for any money. They still don't have their 501c3,
17,000 a year.
Still don't have it?
18,000 annually. No, they don't, they do not have the 501c3
I don't
status
think
back.
we've paid that out in over a year.
Yeah, we haven't paid them anything in.
Yeah.
It's been in our budget, but we haven't paid. It
Yeah,
actually
we-
may have been 2 years.
We left it in the budget. Here's the frustrating part, and where I just kind of threw up my hand and said enough. We gave them $62,500 in June of 2022 to fix all of this, and it is still not fixed. There's no urgency on their part. They've not done anything about trying to replace Kim Henderson, who has been gone for several months now. It's just really kind of one excuse after the other. And the deal for me was when we had a new business turn up here that was wildly publicized. Their opening day was a huge success. They weren't even coming until we pressed them to come because they weren't members yet. And I'm not sure how you go out and seek members if you don't at least show up when they open the doors and talk to them. And they showed up late when they got there. We've gotten, when I went and told Brandy what I was leaning towards doing, I agreed to back off a little bit, give her time to talk to her board, see if they were willing to work with us and partner with us doing this, give them a new brand, get them set up on the right track, which didn't work out. And then the meeting that they did finally have, they used pretty much to attack Nora. And that is a felony in my book. And I think that our time would be much better spent just reorganizing, restructuring. Brandy's looking for a way to get her name off of that. I think that whole board arguably would be because it's all tied to IRS and to other things. And the only clean break, I think, is just to completely start over. And the credibility that they have in the business community, I think, is little. And without our help, I don't think anybody's going to buy onto this. But I think with it, in just a few months, we can get this thing turned around, hold an election, and let them get self-governance back up and running, and then us step out of it and be a partner like we have tried to be.
So do you have a vision on what you think that might involve financially to get something like that up and running? Because I'm assuming that's going to be in a few months, there will be an ask for some funding.
Well, my plan was just to leave the $18,000 in place and use that. I don't think it's going to take all of that. I don't know what some of the filing fees will be. Obviously, we've got to get some bylaws drawn up and we've got some legal hoops to jump. I don't have all those numbers yet, but I don't think they'll be beyond that.
So we've looked at the bylaws, Alice, and I have been working on that. Those are pretty much drawn up. Once you guys can give an okay, we can get that to our attorney to start the process. But like you said, I don't know the fees that start this up.
There's not any concern, I mean, as far as any commitment that was made previously with what we had budgeted, that's owed to them, is there?
No, well, they have some things that they have to do. One is get that 501c3 back because we legally can't give them money without it.
I thought Amber said that was done.
It's filed.
It was filed in February.
And we
did
checked
go
it
with them to
last
meet with
week,
the CPA.
and Still not current.
And they
You
also have
don't
to be
stay
getting
on them,
budgets, right?
it's hard to get it done, because for the Citizens Police Academy, it took me 3 weeks and 6 hours straight on the phone to get our 501c, and it was intact just to get it sent back to us.
Part of the problem too is they're complaining that all of them have jobs and they've got other things to do and they can't really devote a lot of time to it. I know that's true. I credit Amber for where they are now. It's because of her, and I don't believe they've taken one step forward since she's been gone. So we were already spending the time on it. And I just don't think there's any way for them to recover. Or I think to get a functioning chamber here, I think we're going to have to start it, get it built up, and then back out, and then let it run. I mean, we don't want to be in the chamber business, but we are ready to
It's
get
one
what's
thing for
said.
us to not be in the chamber business, but it's another for them not to be a partner. And if they're not willing to, if they're gonna be combative, if they're going to be disrespectful, then
Well, and the sad part of it was the person they let do all the bashing is not even on their board. And she just kind of hijacked the whole thing, denied the city even gave them money, only then to come back and say, oh, yeah, I did. And the only other thing I've heard from was Friday, they sent a basket of cookies to me with a big, long, I'm sorry letter. I told Nora and Steve to resign from the board. I think that was a shot across the bow. So they sent, I don't know, some sort of, I tossed them. I'll respond back to the letter, but she was basically apologizing for getting off the rails, but it's too late.
would you like for me to deliver the notification that we're?
She attacked no, I would gladly deliver that notice.
Do we have
I think we're all
people,
in the same boat.
do we have people in mind already for this proposed new board?
No, we're actually going to try. I mean, we would hope to try to pull some of the existing board members, but so far they've kind of bowed up. And I
Do we
think
want any of the existing board
probably
members?
not, but I'm not going to turn down help. I think fresh new faces, some motivated people is what needs to happen.
I have a friend that runs a business that's physically located in Granbury. And so I was just wondering if that would even be viable. He does business here all the time, but, would they need to have a physical address here? Because he might be interested in being involved.
It really depends on what's gonna be in the bylaws.
Okay,
We'll have to look at that.
okay.
We can do applications.
So that's kind of where we are. And if you, unless you guys have opposition to it,
No,
we'll start
It
working.
should have been done years ago.
Yeah.
I think we've been more than patient.
My vision is to have a good working chamber that is going to highlight and help our business community and collaborate and work well with us. I think that's something that City of Joshua has lacked and
Right.
ready to take that on.
Years ago, they had a 12-on-12, where they met with business leaders.
Yeah, that was funded by Waste Connections.
Yeah.
It was a great
It
program,
was a great program.
great program.
They used to do a lot. They even had a Scotland Lori got a scholarship from them. They had a
Used to do a $500 a year scholarship.
Hmm.
Sure did. Hadn't done that in several years.
pretty significant sized banquet too.
Well, the last I heard, they're gonna continue to do their little quarterly banquets or luncheons or whatever, but they're not gonna do any more community events unless they do stuff with ours. We've set Steve up. We're gonna do the market on Main or fall on Main, whatever it is, Christmas thing. We're gonna do some of the stuff we're gonna keep going. And we will continue to do that and then let they used to pay for half the 4th of July stuff too.
Correct.
They don't do any of that either. So that's what we're trying to get back to, a true partner in the business community.
All right, so do we have a motion or is there any other questions? All right, so do we have a motion for number 3?
I'll make a motion that we cancel the current agreement with the Joshua Area Chamber of Commerce and direct the staff in exploring a possible new chamber organization.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? It is unanimous. Item number 4, discuss consider possible action on the approval of amendments to the Economic Development Type A 25-26 budget.
So now that we have all of the insurance and benefit stuff put together for the salaries and payroll that comes from that this board funds, there's an adjustment needed to cover that in the amount of $8,221. That covers benefits, retirement, everything associated with the salaries that come out of this board. And what that would do was change your almost $165,000, it'd be $8,200 less than that. So you're still well inside your revenue line.
And that was an adjustment in those rates, or was it something because original?
We got hammered with, we had some retirement stuff come up. It was a little higher than usual, but the insurance is the biggest thing. We had a 30% increase.
next year's gonna be worse.
Next year will be worse.
Yep.
As the largest claim that we have was not in yet. So, and it's still ongoing. It'll be well over $1 million before it's over.
There.
Do you have a motion?
I propose a motion to approve the amendments to the Economic Development Type A budget.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? It is unanimous. Item D, executive session pursuant to section 55, or I guess what, at 6:40, we will adjourn to executive session for pursuant to section 551.087 of the Texas Government Code to discuss or deliberate regarding commercial or financial information that the governmental body has received from a business prospect that the governmental body seeks to have, locate, stay, or expand in or near the territory of the governmental body in which the governmental body is conducting economic development negotiations.
Good grief.